Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another game commentary brought to you from our Unranked to Diamond series, playing Lee Sin today, and this is a bit of a different one today. Today we are looking back at a game that I played. Now I've wanted to do this for a while, and if you guys watched me back like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I did these gameplays all the time, like these replay stuff. I love doing these. I feel like this gives me a really big opportunity to like be reflective and really explain things a lot better. It's not as exciting as the live game stuff, but it's more educational, and I love doing these things. But I've just figured that you guys haven't wanted to see this stuff. Like, no one really wants to see this stuff anymore, so I stopped doing it. But then I saw a Reddit post where it was very popular. Someone was doing this kind of thing, and it got really, really popular. And I was like, wow, people actually want to see this stuff still. Awesome. I love doing this stuff. So I'm reviving these kind of replay commentaries a little bit. So let me know down below what you think. If you really don't like this stuff, or you still just want to see the live game things, I'm more than happy to go back to it. But, if you like this kind of replay stuff too, let me know as well. And today we're doing something different as well, because I want to show you guys this kind of new Lee Sin build that I've been trying out, which is, I mean, there are variations of this build all over the place, but it's one that I've been playing, which I've been fine-tuning for myself, and I like it. And it's a different way to play Lee Sin, because it's not really an early game aggressive build, and it's like a really tanky build, but still giving you a lot of damage. So, first thing to say about this game, Lee Sin, I'm just going to pause while I say runes and masteries because that's boring and I just want to get that out of the way. 80 reds, attack speed, quints, army lows, whatever blues, masteries, 12, 0, 18 with strength of the ages, or 12, 18, 0 with Thunderlords. I'm Thunderlords this game because I'm more confident in my Lee Sin, but you can do either. Honestly, with this build, the tanky build, maybe strength of the ages is even better, but it's kind of up to you. So, you notice right now, straight away, the first thing you're going to see is that I'm actually starting at my blue buff. Now, you might be asking, why the hell is Lee Sin starting a blue buff? Like, what's the point in that? He's Lee Sin. Why does he doesn't need to start a blue? What's he doing? Well, the reason I'm starting at blue is because I'm against a Shaco this game, and my prediction is that Shaco will start like around this red buff and cheese me at level 2, because that's a very, very popular thing for Shaco to do, because he takes away that first buff so fast. So, in order to avoid the cheese on the blue buff, I start at the blue so I can take it away really fast, get a good leash, and then just leave and just run away, so I don't have to deal with him at level 2, because Shaco's level 2 is pretty strong and difficult to deal with. However, I get the prediction kind of right. He wanted to cheese me, but he didn't want to cheese me at my red buff. He wanted to cheese me at my... Sorry, he didn't want to cheese me at blue, he wanted to cheese me at red. Which works out, okay, and because he wastes his smite to get the heal so he can fight me, he actually leaves it perfectly for me to finish off. So, because I was aware that this Shaco was going to cheese me at level 2, and I made preparations to secure my buffs early, I was able to save my red buff. I actually just got a really nice leash from Shaco. It screws him over in the early and is really good for me. So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you're ever against these level 2 cheesy champions, then I would always suggest to start the buff so you can avoid that level 2 cheese. I think Lee Sin is actually fairly cheesy in himself, but Shaco, even people like Rengar, Eve, Nidalee, sometimes these people can also cheese as well. So yeah, just be aware of that stuff. Just don't do it really. Don't be lazy about it. Just doing a cheeky little early gank here. Usually you wouldn't lead with your Q. Usually you would like jump in with your Warthog with your W, slow them with an auto attack if you've got red, and then like your E as well, and then fire your Q when you're point blank, because then it's really hard to miss the Q. Whenever you're like, I did a video about tips for ganking, and whenever you've got this like important skill shot, same with it like an Elise with her cocoon, and you need to land it, you want to walk up to the person first. And like make so you're as close as possible rather than leading with it from far away. But this time around it was different because Velcro slowed in with the Q, so I didn't need to wait around. Now, I actually did this video yesterday, by the way, guys. I did this like replay video yesterday. Why does it keep changing? Just to stick on Lee Sin, man. I did this video yesterday, but I wasn't really happy with it because I don't know. I just didn't feel like I did it very well. I haven't done one of these in a while, so yeah, I didn't feel like it was too good. So I'm doing it again today. I mean, I didn't literally do this video yesterday because, I'm not a time traveler. I'm actually doing this video right now. You know what I mean, guys. You know what I mean. So, another tip I did my ganking video yesterday, right, or a few days ago. One of these tips, if you've got lanes that are pushed out, lane ganking is a really quite effective way to be ganking lanes that are too far pushed in to actually, like, traditionally gank them. Like this gank here is because I snuck into the lane bush. Now I executed this really poorly. I thought Lulu was gonna walk in and like Glitter Lance Jin, and then I would go in as well, but she didn't. So I misread that. Maybe if I could even just wait and kind of counter gank that as well if I wanted to. Wait for the Shaco play for him to jump in and then I jump in. But lane ganking is if you see a lane that's really far pushed in, you think, oh crap, I can't do anything there. you can still do something there. Just sneak into the lane bush and just be a bit more patient that way. I mean, it still works. You can still do lane ganking, and you know, it's great because people think they're safe because they think that, oh, that, you know, Lee Sin can't be here. We've got it warded in the river. He can't be here, and then boom, you pop out a lane bush, and it's, you know, catches them by surprise. Also, do you like my shirt? It's my it's my floral grandmother's sofa / lampshade shirt. I'm wearing it again because I thought, you know, this is really a shirt that deserves to be seen. So I know it's pretty horrendous to take a look at, but you know, I quite like it. So, you know, I have to put it on display again. So that's what we're doing. I'm sorry if I've triggered you guys too much already. Anyway, the build which I'm going for today, this kind of like tanky hybrid bruiser build. This is a build which you need a lot of items for. It really only kicks in after 3 items, like 2 after your jungle item, like 1 to 2 after jungle item. So, you know, you need a lot of farm, and holding minion waves like I just did that top lane, holding down that wave that was pushed into the tower because Riven wasn't there. Do stuff like that as a jungler, even if you aren't going for like a heavy farm build. Just do it all the time anyway. You know, just always look for opportunities where you can make waves, not denying it from your team, but just if no one else is going to get it, and at least someone gets it, because that's so much experience and a decent amount of gold as well. It's so good for you to be taking that if you can. Now you'll see the first item I built for this build is to rush the Tiamat. Now that's kind of common nowadays on Lee Sin anyway. People start doing this a lot more. But this is just, you know, it helps your clearing early, gives you a bit of damage early as well. And we'll be building it into Titanic Hydra later on as part of the bruiser, the hybrid damage bruiser build. Now you can see here what I did as well. The reason why I put this pink ward down here is just because my buffs were respawning and I wanted to be aware what was going on. I'm thinking, okay, this Shaco's already displayed that he likes to kind of be a bit cheeky. Maybe he wants to take my red buff again, so I'm just going to ward it so he can't do that, which is why I ward the red, secure the blue, and then I can get my red as well. However, this stage of the game, like, it's kind of equal right now, but we're not really in the best of positions. Look at bot lane, you know, our bot lane is getting absolutely destroyed. Our top lane is getting pretty destroyed as well because he's died twice already. I'm just going to pause here because, you know, this is like, right now at this stage of the game, I really need to decide. Like, this is where the game's really fragile, because we've got 2 lanes that are losing kind of hard and 1 lane that's doing well, you know, 1 good lane, 1 and 2 poor lanes. I really need to be like, okay, do I save these side lanes that are losing to stop them from losing and help them get back into the game, or do I just snowball my mid lane? Like, snowballing mid lane is easier than, like, helping a lane to win harder is easier than saving a side lane that is losing, or whatever it is, whatever lane it is. Like, helping a lane is easier than saving a lane, we'll put it that way. But not always a good choice, because then if I just snowball this mid lane, then the whole game rests on his shoulders, and if he fucks up, it's donezo, you know. So it's risky to do that. But either way, that's kind of what I'm deciding to go for right now, because Lee Sin as a champion is someone who does very well in these mid lane ganks, because what he can do is he can jump in behind people and kick them out to do his insect. Now I'm really stupid and executed this poorly. This ward should be here, not here. And yeah, you'll see what happens. I jump into him and kick him, thinking I might actually kick him this way, and I kick him out of the Vel'Koz ult, and I fail and have to use my flash as well. Like, that was a really poor execution for me, but that's, you know, that's what, because Lee Sin is so good at doing that, because he can displace people. He's really good at ganking the short lanes like mid lane, and you know, mid laners tend to have a lot of burst as well, so you can still do stuff with, you don't need a lot of time to make a play happen. So I'm kind of deciding already to help the mid lane, because I know this bot lane, our bot lane is just sucking anyway, right? So I'm seeing maybe I can get some exit frags here, do something, but probably not. But I'm thinking, these guys probably won't stay here. They're probably going to walk away. They're probably going to run away. Oh wait, no, they're not. They're going to go for me, and he still has his flash, and so he kills me as well. So this is like, this was just terrible though. I shouldn't have done that. I just really wasn't expecting these guys to have the confidence to go for me there. I really wasn't expecting that at all. And also I wasn't expecting Jhin to have his flash, because Jhin is destroying bot lane, and you know, to be so aggressive enough to get kills, you would expect maybe they have to use summoners. But I mean, me dying there is so bad. I feed that guy a kill, I feed him red buff, and I'm going to lose a dragon as well, because it's Shaco. Shaco is someone who wants to take objectives and be cheesy like that, and you know, if I just gift it to him, if I'm like, yo, I'm dead, then obviously after level 6 with his clone, with his ulti, he's gonna take that dragon. So it becomes, you know, it's just, my death there was just really bad. Like, it was terrible, honestly. There's just really no excuse for it. I just underestimated the enemy, and that was that. So getting rid of the pink ward here as well. I want to talk a bit about kind of the direction of the build where I'm going here. The direction I'm going is I've got my smite stone so I can ward hop, and also I'm going to go for the, yeah, well you'll see what I end up building, but I'm kind of going for this bruiser-esque build. Now I'm going in bot here to try and make a play again, because this is what I mean, right? Either I save the side lanes or I snowball the mid lane. Now, because mid lane's already doing his thing, I can't really go there. This still looks like an opportunity where I can do something, because Lee Sin is a really good early ganker, especially level 6. His level 6 power spike is pretty significant. He has a lot of damage by himself. Like, 1v1, even though these guys are so fed, I could probably kill Jim 1v1. Maybe not, because he is pretty fed, actually. But, you know, I could still do... I've got enough impact by myself that I can do stuff if I want to. But I do have to play it ridiculously carefully, because we're just so far behind. Like, it's just so hard to do it, you know? And this is a problem as well, right? Is that Shaco's, you know, if I don't know where Shaco is and he counter ganks, we're screwed. Twisted Fate can counter gank with his ultimate as well. Like, it's so hard to just, like, go in and really make a play in this situation. Because if I don't know where TF is, if you're playing against a TF, or, you know, it's just so risky to make a play like that. Because if I'd gone in there, it would have been even worse for us, because TF would have counter ganked, Shaco would have counter ganked as well. It would have been really ugly. So that's another reason why I should focus on the mid lane a little bit this game, because it's hard for me to focus on the on side lanes when if I can't control the Twisted Fate, then he can control me. You know, like, it's very easy for this Twisted Fate to go to the lanes that are winning and help those lanes out. So I just have to be really careful of that. You know, playing against the TF, you just have to be quite aware that he can go to other lanes and he can fuck you up if he wants to. You know, he can TP, he can cock block you really hard, and it's really easy for him to do that. However, I'm going to try my hand onto the top lane now as well. Like, Riven is someone who, even if she's behind, has a lot of damage. So, unless you think that the laner can 2v1 you, like, if it's someone like Renekton, if this was a Renekton or Darius, then I might not want to do this, because I would just think that there's so easy champions that can 2v1. And also because this guy's built squishy, I think we have a chance of getting him, because he's not going to just last forever and just, like, kill us with his base damage, you know? So, like, because he's gone for Gunblade, he's not really tanky, therefore we can still get him, we can still do something to him, and you know, we can actually punish that guy. If that was Renekton, and you know, we wouldn't be able to do that at all. If that was a Renekton, I'd have completely forgotten about it, because Renekton would just 2v1 us. You know, Darius, similar story as well. So, getting that Riven a kill, helping her a little bit. I know Vel'Koz went up before as well when all that play was happening bot lane. You know, it helps, you know, and Riven is someone who can come back into a game, because she's always got, like, a lot of damage to do stuff as well. But Riven players don't have brains, so, you know, of course you would invade like that blind, because why wouldn't you? And so she dies again. But I mean, looking at, like, 50 minutes into the game, we're behind in gold, we're not doing too well. And the worst thing is that going into the late game, our AD carry is really weak right now, and their AD carry is pretty strong. So I'm gonna pause here just to explain a little bit about what I'm thinking here. Twisted Fate and Shaco were chasing the Riven, fighting Riven around here. So they were making plays onto Riven. Riven dies, that sucks, whatever. But now thinking forward, I chugged the sword down here because I'm thinking, okay, they killed Riven at the Rift Herald, and it's the jungler and mid laner is there. Seems like quite an obvious play to maybe take the Rift Herald. So maybe they're doing that. I'm going to go chuck a ward down and see if they're doing it. They're not doing it. What else could they be doing? Well, I guess they could have recalled if they wanted to, but there wasn't really any reason to do that. So where else would they go? Maybe this mid laner with 0 escapes, pushing really far down in the lane, might be someone that these guys would be looking at to gank. So that's my thought process here. So I'm just going to go mid and just be with him, so that if something happens, if someone shows up, like, I can be here and I can help. And as you see, both TF and Shaco were coming around to do the flank here. Now I tried to do the cheeky kick there into the... like, kick Shaco into TF, doesn't quite work. I survive on a totally calculated amount of health. But either way, if I hadn't gone in there, that was a good 1 for 0 there, and then Shaco gets greedy again. So 2 for 0. And, you know, because I'm thinking about it from their perspective, you like, especially as the jungler, it's a much more of a mind game, and you always want to think, okay, what's the enemy team thinking? What do they want to do? What are they trying to achieve here? And if you can think about it from their perspective, then it's easy to, like, read their plays, and then you can counter their plays a lot easier as well. So this is really awkward here. Riven completely fouls the wall jump and just, yeah, like, screws over the Lulu as well. So that's like a 2-0 here, so far at least. And no one even had to use summoners, they just get 2 free kills. But here we go. Riven. Revan! There she is. So finally, a 2v2 is okay. When you're behind, going 2v2 is fine, but that was really awkward. But here, because River went bot lane, I'm going to go hold top. Again, another way for me to get free golden experience. That was a misclick. I did not mean to flash there. That was meant to be just a ward hop. But you know, soaking up gold, soaking up experience. You can see my farm. Like, I'm at 62 and Shaco's just hit 40. Like, I'm like 50% more farm than he's got. Really good for me. Talking about the build though, I've gone for Ninja Tabby because they have a really fed AD carry and they have a lot of AD on their team anyway with Yorick and Shaco. So getting the Ninja Tabby is good for me. But also this is what the build is now. It's going more into what I'm trying to build, which is the Bruiser type, where I got the Cinderhulk as my first item. So I rush this in, well not rush it because I get Tiamat first. But I get Tiamat as my first item. And then I've got, you know, I've got my Cinderhulk second, and now I'm going to be building into like these hybrid damage items. This is pretty much what the build's all about. So you're going to be seeing now that I'm like at this point I could just transition into tank if I really wanted to. Like if I'm really far behind, the good thing about this build is I can just go full tank here. I can just go into like Dead Man's Plate if I wanted to. But I kind of still want to go for this like hybrid build a little bit. I'm not that far behind. I've done some stuff, 50% kill participation for my whole team, and I'm pretty farmed, so I can afford to you know stick to my more offensive build without having to feel like I have to go tanky because I'm really far behind. So I'll be going into a Black Cleaver here. That's going to be the next item I'm going to get at least. But this is a bit unfortunate. I land a really cool Q, which would be like a free kill for me, but I get gold carded out of the side, so that kind of sucks. But this is like right now when you're playing against someone, or if you think you're going to get chased down by the enemy team, especially a TF who's got his ultimate, just group together. Like this is just an example of just where you should just group up and just be you know really protecting each other. And this is also an example of Lee Sin in team fights, or like skirmishes. Like Lee Sin is not someone who wants to jump in and just full on dedicate and just like someone like Olaf, for example, who you'll find your target and you'll run at them and just run, go really hard. Lee Sin isn't like that. He jumps in, he does stuff, he jumps out, and he waits till his cooldowns are back up. He jumps back in. You know, he's much more like that. And you can see here, my whole team was running away, but because I was like thinking, okay, yes, we're running away here, but maybe I can do some cheeky things. So that's what I'm doing. Like I just instead of running away, I jump over this wall. Now I don't think Nami really knows I'm here. So you know when the spooky ghosts come through. And even though I've got a Cinderhulk, I still do a decent amount of damage. Like, you know, that's pretty much a full health Nami there, and just almost one combo her. You know, just playing it smart. You know, I'm just chilling out. I'm not just not hard dedicating to things. Just like doing some damage and then running away, doing some damage, running away again. I know that these guys are going to try and make a play on this blue, so I ward it, and then that doesn't look like the real Shaco, and oh look, someone just appeared in the bush. You know, so this ward here is a bit of an MVP. A little bit of tip as well when you're playing against Shaco right here. If he puts his box down, you can actually smite it. You know, you didn't see that smite animation with the spectator overlay, but you can see that I actually smited that there. I smited the box. If the Shaco box hasn't gone invisible yet, it blocks projectiles and it can be targeted by, well, targeted stuff. So, you know, put your smite down. It stops Shaco's 1v1 power. So if you're a jungler against Shaco and you put your smite up and he's just put his box down, just smite it, because you don't wanna have to deal with the fear and then the extra damage as well. So yeah, I'm just gonna get a bit more farm here, chuck in a cheeky recall, build towards my Black Cleaver, and also being with my team a little bit here, because my team's getting themselves in a little bit of a pickle, a little bit of trouble. So I'm seeing maybe if there's something that I can do, maybe try and scare off the Shaco. This is a point as well where I have to be very careful. I'm going to pause here just to explain like what's exactly going through my head right now. If I'm in this position, I'm in a very precarious position. You know, like I'm deep-ish in the enemy jungle, and I'm far from home, and we're not stronger than the enemy team just yet. I know. Well, actually, we're ahead in gold, but it's all on Vel'Koz pretty much. Like we're not that strong. I guess actually Riven's started to catch up a little bit now as well, but still we're not really strong right now. You know, like we can't bully the enemy team, so we're not strong enough to be in the enemy jungle like this and not have to worry about it, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I have to keep my eyes peeled on the minimap right here. Whenever you do something like this, keep your eyes peeled on the minimap, because you see, like, if I see everyone from mid lane just immediately disappear, or everyone, if this is early on into the game and it's still lane phase, you walk in the enemy jungle and everyone disappears, you've been spotted and they're coming to stop you. So I've always got to keep my eyes peeled and be like, okay, what information do I have right now? What am I working with? I know Twisted Fate is chasing me. I can see him chasing me. I know Shaco was around here as well, but he was really low. So I'm kind of looking for Shaco, but I'm also looking towards, if I want to make this play, Riven, I want to walk towards Riven. She's the one who's going to help me. She's the one who's going to save me and make this not an ugly play where I just get, you know, comboed and die. Because I don't have a Hex Drinker. I am a little bit tankier though, because I've gone for this build, so I'm not that afraid. But still. So, I can see I'm like hunting a little bit for Shaco here. But also, I'm aware what my strong side is, which is this Riven. This Riven is my strong side right now. But this is where I'm also being a bit cheeky here. Because I know that these guys have come down from mid, and I was thinking maybe I can get a flank with my team as well. But I also don't want to do anything, you know, too drastic, which is why I put some vision down, and then I'm just waiting here. Like, I've been here for so long, I'm just sitting here, I'm just chilling, I'm just waiting. Because eventually my team will be in a position where I can just collapse, and we can actually do something, which is what you're seeing here. Where I do an amazing kick and Q combination, as you can see there. The Q definitely didn't miss, it was just lag. And there we go. So patience there, just being really cheeky, really patient, and seeing the position of my team. And here we go. So now I just get cheeky skirmish. It's all about the positioning, really. Like, it's just patience and positioning. Especially if you've got a displacement ult like Lee Sin's, where you can, or if you're a good playmaking champion like Lee Sin, then, you know, you're patient with it all, and you get what you want, really. Now this is, if I remember correctly, this is a bit of an awkward play. Like, I know someone's probably going to come here to you know, like, because they're angry that he lost his red buff. But I also, you know, just, I don't know, I kind of want to make I use that opportunity to try and make a play, but it ends up being, this whole thing is really, we're all so low. Like, we don't really have the justification to be here right now. Like, it's all really painful. Like, Riven gets Shaco, which is good, but there's, you know, here it comes. When you have a global ultimate like Twisted Fates, and then you've got a Jhin ult as well, like, you just don't have the justification to do this. You know, you just can't do it. Like, you know you're going to get caught. And then I put a ward down right on top of my face instead of over the wall, so I can't escape either, and I'm dead. And of course I flash for Mastery Flex because I'm just mucked up really, really hard. You know, it's just, if you're ever playing against people who've got ultimate globals like that, or they're really good at catching you, don't overstay. Just play really, really safe, because you know you're going to get caught if you play against a team like that. Just as a side note, this Yorick's build is a little bit questionable, because like, he has absolutely no health right now, so like, I don't know, it's a really cheesy build, it seems like. So, you know, yeah. Now, obviously Dragon is like a really obvious play here. My whole team's here, so I'm going to run down there as well. Just skip forward a little bit because this stuff is all boring. But as Lee Sin, this is what you want to do, is you want to look for opportunities where you're not really the front line. So I'm already just positioning in like a flank position, right? Knowing that I can jump over a wall if I need to. And I'm just positioning on the side. Like, I don't want to go, I don't want to be the first one to run in. And my team doesn't really have anyone who does want to be the first person to run in. But I just know that it doesn't want to be me, you know. I want to chill out a bit more. But this is also good from Riven here as well, is that she had cheeky positioning as well. Like, she wasn't looking for the flat out 5v5, she snuck around so she could try and make a play. And she did, well, with me as well. We both made that play together, which is good shit. Sad bubble from Nami, cop blocks me pretty hard. But because we've already killed the Twisted Fate, this play becomes really easy for us. That was also a bit unfortunate. I think Yori's going to hit at least one person there, but he died. He died mid ulti, so he doesn't get that shit, but yeah. Now this is the really awkward thing here, right? Is whenever you're doing Dragon or Baron or whatever it is, when the enemy jungler is still alive, this is where it gets really awkward, right? Because you know, my voice keeps going, but you know that the enemy jungler is going to try and come in and steal it. And whereas my smite does like 100 more damage, like, it doesn't really mean I have much more of an advantage over Shaco, honestly. Like, I have technically I have a bit of an advantage, but it's not that much, you know? Like, how much is my smite is 760 and his does 680. It's 90 damage, you know, and that's nothing. Like, for something to be in smite range, you know, that can easily, something can push it over smite range and do an extra 90 damage while doing it as well, you know, like, it's nothing. So what you got to do, you got to play it very specifically, and as soon as you know the enemy jungler is going for the play, stop damage on the objective and just go for the enemy jungler. Now we mucked that up pretty hard. And we still damaged the dragon. But, you know, that's the important thing, is that you avoid the, what's it called, bloody, stop damaging the objective and just kill the enemy jungler first. Like, you don't want to go for those objectives if the enemy jungler is alive. It's too risky. Well, I'm going to rewind here and just show you a little bit about how this build works. The kind of tank Lee Sin build. is where you're still skirmishy, but you don't care. Like, so this is just after the dragon, right? Then TF TP's in, Jin's come in as well. I just fly into Jin. I've still got the damage where I can assassinate him from that health. I'm on 0 health. I don't care because I'm just running at this guy and just killing him. You know, like I can still be skirmishy and not really have to worry because I just don't die that fast. You know, and there I just pop out in front of an army and just run away. Like it's a really nice build where I still have a good amount of damage, but I'm also tanky enough where I'm not just going to instantly die. So. You know, I mentioned Black Cleaver was the first like big item you buy after Cinderhawk, but then you want to get either you want to get Titanic Hydra, but I went for a Chain Vest here just because the enemy team is full of really strong physical damage champions. But this honestly, like, I really want to get this bot tower down because like it's still up. This whole game it's still been up, and we really want it down. Else we're just gonna have an awkward time the whole time just pushing out this bot wave. It's always gonna get stuck here. But I shouldn't have left my team at this point. Like, if your team's grouped up in solo queue, group up with them. Because they're going to get caught, they're going to die, and that's exactly what happened there. So again, I'm trying to be cheeky, trying to come around from the side, try and maybe do something. There's not really much going, honestly, there's not really much to do. I wasted my flash, again, for some reason, I fat finger. Somehow, I don't even know how I do that, but yeah. But you know, there's no point trying to defend something if you can't defend it. Like, I couldn't defend that mid tower, there's no point, because I will die. If I die, that doesn't help me with anything, you know, it's just really awkward. But the enemy team has now overstayed a little bit, and I did mention if you think that you can chase something, or if you think that you can be chased, don't overstay. And Lee Sin, with his wall hops, Riven, just running at someone with a ridiculous bloody mobility, that's an example of a team that can chase you down. So we chase them down, we get a few kills, and of course when you get kills you want to translate those into advantages. And for us, that means the Baron. Again, we have to be careful about Shaco coming through, but we know he's not around, so we can't even contest it. And there we go, we get a free Baron. So just on that, you know, we get that Baron, and now suddenly we're actually looking like we're in a really good spot for this game. I mean, we just threw 2 seconds ago, but now we're back into it, you know. And with this Baron, the important thing is that we now group. So it's taken a little while, but my team is grouped, and I'm split pushing bot wave as well. I've got my Titanic Hydra now too. You can see I've got like 256 AD with 3000 health. It's a pretty good build. I like this build. But now that I've drawn Shaco down with me, I can now group with my teams. That's kind of the power of split push. Like, if I don't think I can actually get that tower, when they send someone for me, that's when I group up with my team. And now my team has a numbers advantage. So we get this mid tower for free. But this is kind of like the thing, right? We've got Baron buff, so you want to group, you want to siege. But our team, we don't have a massive front line to really siege with. So there's just really no point staying in this mid tower. Like, we're not going to be able to beat the wave clear of like a Twisted Fate. We're not going to be able to dive them too well either. Like, Vel'Koz goes really deep and gets Tsunami, but is it really worth it? I don't know. We get this really easy tower, and of course Dragon's the obvious one coming up now as well. So we still get stuff, but there's no point staying really if you don't really think you've got anything to stay with. And like here again, this is quite cheeky by me. I'm just going in looking for some opportunities to maybe do something. And look at that, that's one combo. That wasn't even a particularly efficient Lee Sin combo. I didn't even combo him properly. If that wasn't Shaco, Shaco's gone Cinderhawk and is now going into his Titanic Hydra as well, mind you. That's not a squishy Shaco, and I put him down to like, he's on 2.5k health, and I put him down to like less than half in one combo. If that was Jin who face checked there, I would have killed him. You know, it's a crazy build. The fact that I can do that still and be as tanky as I am is ridiculous. The rest of my build though now is going into a Guardian Angel. It's a really nice item overall, but giving you like the hybrid defensive stats is really good stuff. Like armor, magic resist, it's really nice, and it means that I can now jump in, not have to worry about just dying really fast. So it's good. Good old, like, this is all just traditional, basic, classic Lee Sin skirmishing, where he jumps in, he does damage with his combo, he jumps back out, then he jumps back in again. You know, like, he's always doing that kind of stuff. It's crazy. This is how you play Lee Sin. You don't dedicate really hard to stuff. You just go in, do some things, and then go back out. But of course, at this stage of the game, considering we just killed Twisted Fate as well, we do want to look for these advantages, opportunities where we can fight. But we do need to be careful. Against a Jin, that's a very good initiation tool. If they had Twisted Fate as well, like Jin plus Twisted Fate is pretty crazy. They can slow us, and Twisted Fate can get in, gold card you, and then the Zhonya's and wait for his team to catch up. So a lot to catch us if they really want to catch us. And even now, like, we have to be careful with how we position. Like, if we have people who are, you know, just if we're not all together, it's all going to be really awkward. I'm lucky as Lee Sin I can jump in and jump out, so I don't have to be too afraid. But this whole thing where we're not all grouped up. If the enemy team starts grouping up, then we're in trouble. But the enemy team seems to be just as disorganized as us, which, you know, you think in solo queue, like, oh my goodness, I can't win, it's awful, I can't do anything in solo queue because it's you know, my team sucks, they always do dumb things. It's like, well, look at the enemy team. You know, the enemy team, if you watch your replays like this, you'll see the enemy team is not better than your team. If you watch replays, like, this is why watching replays is so good, is because you can see, without being in like the heat of the moment in the game, you can see all this stuff happening, and you'll see the enemy team doesn't do anything special. They're not like really good players, and your team is just really awful. Or, you know, it's not like your team is massively outclassed. You can see the enemy team does a lot of dumb stuff as well. But in the game, it's hard to see that. In the game, you always think that the enemy team is playing really well, and that, you know, your team just sucks. You see all the mistakes of your teams, but never the mistakes of your enemies. And it's not really accurate, honestly. Like, enemy teams make so many mistakes that you can capitalize on. So at this point in the game, we're really just trying to close the game out. This is just a Baron play where we're pretty far ahead right now, so we can just really brute force it. Again, though, we don't really want to have Shaco steal it, so if we see Shaco, we turn on Shaco, which is what happened there. And now we've got Baron, we're pushing in, and this is pretty much... Like, I don't think we'll be able to end here, because we don't have any minions. We can try, but we probably won't be able to. Yeah. We're not going to be able to end here. Like, if this was really late game where everyone was level 18 and stuff, we probably could end, but we can't end just here. And we do run the risk of actually throwing here if enough of us die. We lost 2 people there, but questionable Zonya's right there. But having said that, we died so deep in the enemy's base, and the death timers aren't really that long that they can't do anything with that. Like, maybe they could have rushed down the Elder Dragon, maybe, but you know, that probably would have been a smart thing for them to do, but even then it's still risky because at this point they're actually quite far behind. So, you know, in general it would have been good for the enemy team to go for that Elder Dragon. But I'm just going to pause here as well and talk a bit about, you know, just playing late game team fights as Lee Sin, because this is pretty much as late game of a team fight we're going to see this game. Basically, with Lee Sin, I've always said he's a skirmishy champion. You don't want to jump in, you don't want to be the front line, but he can get in and do stuff, obviously, but it's all about your positioning. Like I said in my Unranked to Diamond video, you can have mechanics, but positioning is more valuable, more important, and a lot easier to pull off. So if you've got good positioning, you don't need good mechanics, because you don't need to execute some really awesome, amazing insect play when you can just have a good position and just like kick someone out from jumping behind them anyway, you know? So this is what it's about, really. Having good position rolls around getting flanks. Now you'll notice that I didn't walk here. I didn't walk this way, so they didn't see me come here. I jumped over the wall because that means I can sneak in without them realizing I'm here. So I'm positioning here where I can like jump in behind them more or less and actually, you know, get a good, like this Jin for example, I can just Q Yorick. I don't even need to W after that. I just Q Yorick and kick Jin out because of the angle I'm coming in at. Or I can just W over the wall and kick Jin as well. You know, like I'm in just such a good position to make a flank here. Now of course my team isn't in position, so I won't be able to actually do it. But in general, this is what positioning is, you know, positioning's about when you're going for these flanks. Now, if I had a sweeper, this would be even better. Like right now, this position is a bit risky because I've opted to keep my warding totem because I've gone for, I just want more vision, more ward hops. But if I had a sweeper, this would be even better. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm just like, I'm really far in and I'm obviously going to get caught and probably die here. But look what my team's doing. My team is already doing the dragon. Like they're already on it. So basically I'm just zoning the enemy team while my team does the dragon. So that's fine. We'll take that. Like it's actually a really cheeky way for you to be getting objectives. People don't expect you to be doing the big objectives like Baron or Elder Dragon or sometimes even just Dragon without the jungler. So if you can, as the jungler, show your face in the lane, then oftentimes the enemy team will think, oh wait, he's probably not doing the dragon or whatever it is because I can see the enemy, I can see the jungler. He can't be doing the dragon as well. So yeah, it's a cheeky way to get like objectives like that. But still, at this point, this Jinx, who's honestly had a pretty awful game. No offense, Jinx, but it happens. Who's still 4 and 5, despite, you know. But now she's hitting late game Jinx. She doesn't have to worry about anything. She just like 2 shots everyone. She's really strong now. She's got the crits. She's got the range. She's got the auto attacks. That's all she has to worry about. So yeah, easy game for Jinx to mop up there as well at the end. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. To give you a bit of a taster of this Lee Sin build as well, the tanky Lee Sin build. Death Stance was the last time there just because you know, it's, I don't know, deaths, I just want a bit more damage, really. Yeah, that's it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, boys and girls. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you thought about it down below. Thanks so much for watching the video. Don't forget, you can go find me on Facebook, Twitter, catch me streaming, twitch.tv/Foxdrop. All those things are down below in the description. But most importantly, boys and girls, thanks so much for watching. Have a good, amazing day. And I will see you in my next video.